ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवतौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमहत्यातदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाशभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वाहं स्वस्ति नोभिः व्यसेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न साक्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
So next week, not next week, after that you can chant for our Saturday class. Jyoti.
I think I feel quite comfortable and confident here, Doctor. For one month, let me do this. After that,
Sure, no problem.
Okay, yeah.
So now we are in the third prashna of the Prashna Upanishad. So we have finished actually reading 3 mantras. So we will chant the mantra. So whoever is not chanted last time, just read the mantra and the verse meaning. Whoever is not read last time, please read. Just that one last time also, because only three mantras, that's what I'm just asking.
Shall I read?
Yeah.
Atha hainam kausalya shvashvalayana papracha bhagavantu esha prano jayate katamayatyas
Asmin sharira
shariram atmanam va
pravibhajya katham
te kenot-kramate brahma bhidhate
kathamadhyatma-midi.
Then
verse meaning.
Then Kaushalya, son of Ashvala questioned him, "O Bhagavan, whence has this prana come? How does this enter the body? How does it abide after it has divided itself? And for which reason does it go out? How does it support outer fields? And what is within the body?"
Yeah. Next one.
I'll say, okay. Tasmai sahovacha prapanna paripachyatsi brahmishto siti tasmateham bravibhi.
Tasmai sahovajadi prashnan pritchasi.
Tasmai sahovachadi
Jadi prashnan prishchadi
pritchasi
brahmishtosidi
brahmishtositi
tasmateham bravimi.
Tasmateham
Bravimi.
bravimi.
Yeah. Now third.
He replied, "You may question touching the transcendental matter because you are supremely devoted to Brahman. I will explain it to you."
Next.
आत्मना एष प्राणो जायते आत्मन एष प्राणो जायते यैषा पुरुषे चाय तस्मिन् न तदादं मनोकृते नायात् यस्मिन् शरीरे. This prana is born of the Atman. Just as shadow is born of the man, the prana spreads over the self. By the action of the mind, it enters into this body.
Yeah. So this is what we have seen in the last 2 days. Yeah. So we are in the third mantra, a third prashna of the Prashnopanishad. And there are total 6 prashnas are there. So we have finished 2. And we are in the third mantra. So in the third mantra and the third Upanishad, the third prashna, sorry. The third prashna, it is very, very, see, we have to see the development from the first prashna because it is all connected. See, there are 6 prashnas and these 6 prashnas are one after another. We are going from the grosser to the subtler, subtler, subtler. That is how it is going. Then there is another way of development also. The first question is actually the Shadi. What was the first question? How the prajas are born. There we have to understand that it is the Sharira Utpatti. Sharira Utpatti means the body, the gross body mainly. So the first prashna, the essence, it is concentrating on how the prajas are born. There we have to understand it is the gross body we are talking about it. Prana and Reyi, from that Annam, all those we have, it has to come everything. The Prajapati has actually, so how we have to, the Prajapati became Prajakama and desires of having prajas. Then he did tapas, and through the tapas, the Mithunam, Reyi and Prana, from this, the prajas are born. That is how it is developed. Now, from there, in the second chapter or second prashna, what is it? It is actually going from there. How this prana, importance of prana, because it is the prana without which the sense organs cannot exist. So that is what it shows. First, that is how he started. Who is important? Who is supporting all this? The body. Who is supporting? Then the sense organs, they claimed they are doing it. But prana said, no, I am the person. And the story, everything we know, you have to, and realizing that we are all dependent on prana. The devas are doing stuti. So the rest of the whole mantra is the stuti of the devas. Devas means here the indriyas. How they do the stuti. In the stuti itself, first they said everything, he himself became everything. That is how the stuti starts. That's all. He became everything. Then everything is fixed in him. That is the next shloka. Then he is given little more importance by the devas. Always remember, it is the devas. That means the indriyas are doing the stuti. So the indriya said, they had given a higher, their understanding become higher. So they said, hey prana, you are the one who is Prajapati itself. So you yourself giving birth to everything, all the beings. And to that prana we offer oblation. That is how beautifully it said. Then they are still not happy with that. So they started taking the vibhutis of prana one by one. So they just took everything, Agni, all vibhutis of prana, Indra, Rudra, Vayu, Aditya, everything he took and said everything is you. Then another way he was praised that he is the cause for all the beings. And then that is from the samashti, then again coming back, then says, again, he is the, through the vak, through the thing, it is he who is expressed, the prana. Then it says that annam, he became the annam. He became the rain. And he made all the praja happy. That is how it is coming. Then he said, he is Ekashi. So from samashti, again coming back to the vyashti. That is, the prayer is like that. The whole thing, he is compared to everything in the samashti and everything in the vyashti also. That coming back. Now, so from the first to second, going up. Now it is coming back. Then the sadhaka who knows that, yeah, the prana is of that great importance. But for a sadhaka or a shishya, another question comes. From where does it come? Even though it is said in the second prashna that he is everything, but still, then how did he come to being? So that is why, that is actually shows
I think she has some internet issues.
Ajita, were you able to get the recording of the last session?
Unni said he will do it and send it across. Today
Thank you.
morning also he told me he'll send it. As soon as he sends it, I will share it with
Yeah.
all of you.
Yeah, thank you. Ajita, your mother's not there today. Mother's not there.
She's there. She's in that blue sari.
Hello.
Ah,
Rajni.
hello.
Hello.
Ajita, doctor's gone off, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
she's
became
left.
frozen.
She's left.
She must be trying to log in again. yeah?
Mhm. Do we read something in between till she comes, joins us? Maybe read the
Can I-
third one or something.
Okay, I don't know,
Read
madam.
the previous one. No?
We'll read the
Ajita?
third one. Yeah.
I don't know if madam told I had actually called you.
Hmm.
I'll just tell here, Swamiji is starting a channel
Hmm.
where his all his talks, everything will be aired. So for
Okay.
that, he has to deposit some money, the ashram.
Mhm.
So they're making into like a shares.
Mhm.
So there are about 200 shares. Each share is about 50,000.
Mhm.
So madam said if anybody is keen, can contact her.
All right. Swami Chidanandapuri.
Yes, Swami Chidanandapuri.
All right.
And
Okay.
this is not, this details of this should not go on any WhatsApp or any, only
Yeah,
by,
it is only for the close people.
yeah, and only by
Oh.
word of mouth.
Correct.
All right.
Nothing to be put on any, these are,
Yeah,
I
she's-
think, as per the government rules for
Doctors
starting,
join. Yeah, as per the government rules.
for starting such a,
Channel.
channel or what.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So each share is for 15,000 or 50,000, 50.
50.
50.
So madam is buying 4,
Five.
I'm buying 2. So whoever can, whatever.
okay. Now, sorry, it just went. Where did we stop? Yeah.
Yeah, you were talking about Vyashti and everything that he
Yeah,
is compared to
everything, and
in
then
Vyashti
comes and the cause hunting.
Where
Yeah,
does the prana start?
the cause hunting nature of the. So that is how, from where the
Prana.
prana comes. Then another, because 5 questions were asked. So that was the time the teacher also says that you are asking too many questions. So adiprashna. That's also very, very important, because many times the teacher need not have to answer all the questions asked by the shishya, because the teacher will have his own way of measuring each person, each student. That is why here already he might have measured all of them because they were all staying with him for 1 year. That is what he asked in the first mantra, first prashna. Yeah, you go and stay with me for 1 year, then I will answer your questions. But still, he knows that why he has said that, it is ati prashna means it is little not all right for you to ask. The reason, because sometimes without the basic understanding, if the teacher says all about the higher teachings, then it is of no use. Not only that, whatever the student may not be, the shishya, the disciple may not be able to take it in the proper sense and understand in a different way and start spreading it. That is not correct. That is very, very important. That is the reason. So that's why there's a warning. Then another thing, here also we have to, because these students have gone through all the tapas, everything, but still they never know. They are stuck from where that is why they ask the question, very, very fundamental question, where the prajas had come. They were studying, they were going and asking many masters. That's what we have to take it, infer. So here it says that, see, all the question, because all this, there are so many things which cannot be logically explained and logically understood. So that what is not logically explained or logically understood for a logical question. So from the standpoint of the student will be asking a very logical question. For him, everything clear and he wants to know this much, this is. But there, the teacher is making him understand. Many of the questions are not to be answered logically, and not to be answered logically, not to be understood logically. That is what it says, Adi Prashna, that is. But still, I will tell you why. Because you are Atmanishtan, Brahmanishtan. You are studying the values, everything. You don't know so many things, but you have the interest, you have the shraddha, you have the tapas. So I am going to tell you. So you are eligible. So appreciating the qualities of the shishya that is what our parampara shows. Our gurus are like that. They appreciate the student. They will never say whatever thing, hello, bele besh. So you will say saumya. So that compassion, that encouragement. See, these are all what we have to understand from the Upanishad, because how the Guru Parampara behaves those. So that is what is to be understood, and that is what is to be followed. That is very, very important. Now, coming back to this question, we have to understand this in a little more detailed way, because this is the key word or the key shloka of this whole Prashnopanishad. This third shloka, third mantra of the third prashna. That is Atmana Esha Prano Jayade. So Atmana, how did the Atma is born? For that the question, Atmana Esha Prano Jayade. The prana has born from Atma. Yadhaisha, just like that, Purushe Chaye Tasmin Edadadam, means just like the Chaya is, Chaya means shadow. Shadow is formed from the Purusha. Just like how the shadow is formed from the Purusha, the same way, Atma, from the Atma, the prana is born. And then, how did it enter the body? Manokrite nayatyasmin. Manokrite nayatyasmin. So, through the mind. So these things three we have to understand. Here, when it says that prana is born, it is not like the ordinary birth we have to understand. But that is the only way. Otherwise, there is no other way to express it. Because the question is from where it is born. So naturally, the answer to the question, if the teacher says it is not born, it is na jayade mriyade, the student will get confused. So immediately he says, yes, it is born from Atma. But that giving birth from the getting born from Atma is not like, somebody, the child is born from the mother. It is not that way. Here, one has to understand. That is why confusion should not be there. Guru make the statement very, very clear in the next line, next sentence. Yadha esha purusha chaya. So how the reflection is formed or the shadow is formed, just like that, the prana is born. So that last time when we took that, we explained that in little more detail. We will do it again once again. It is a repetition, but I'm sure that we need it because it is very, very difficult to really understand it. We have to hear once or twice, then you can write it of your own and then understand. And here we have to also, this is very important, that here the Atma is the Parama Adhisthana. Atma has different meaning. So here, what is the meaning of Atma? We have to take it. It is all pervading. That is the meaning. There are other meaning, but that is not what it is necessary here. Here, what is necessary, the meaning, what we have to understand here is, it is all pervading. Then only we can connect the answer. So all pervading means it is only that is there, which is pervading the whole phenomena. So when we say that it is pervading the whole phenomena, what do we mean? What we mean, the whole vastu, every object, what is the content? It is pervaded by the Atma. So the Atma is the content or the stuff of the whole universe. So when it is said that prana is born, the content of prana is Atma. Prana, Atma. Atmagam. Pranatmagam. Prana Atmagam. So the content, you got it? So the content is the Atma. The Atma means, what is that Atma there? It is the Unma, the existence, the Satyam. We have to take it. That is all there, all pervading. All pervading also we should not, because that is the only there. So whatever is the whole Jagat, the whole phenomenon, this phenomenal world, the content of the phenomenal world, the Drishyam, the content of the Drishyam is the Drik, the Atma. That is what we have to understand. So for that, last time I have taken an example of metal and it's things made out of metal. So we can take an iron metal, which is called loha. Loha means metal. And a needle also we can make it out of steel. Here iron means steel. And the greatest bridge in the world, in the universe, is also made up of the same steel. So what is the content of that needle?
And the
It's the metal. What is the content of that bridge? It is the metal. So like that way, from the prana, prana is the subtlest form. Subtlest form, the prana, to the grossest, to the rock, to the everything is Atma only. Atma means Sat. We have to take it there as the Sat. Now we will use the word Sat. So if you ask, there is Sat principle, whether there is Atma is there in the rock, you have to say yes. Rock also is an expression of that Sat. But there the Chit principle is very, very minimal. We can't say no, but it is not. That is the difference. That is why it said from the very, very subtle form, the prana, to the rock, the grossest, everything is pervaded by the Atma, the Sat. Now the Sat, yeah. So from the subtle to the gross, all is Atmatmakam. So when we see this word, so we have to understand, we have to know that this is all outside world, but the content of the world is in each and everything we see is the Sat. That is very, very important, the first thing. Now, whether this pin and the bridge, whether they are born from the metal? No, they are not born from the metal. But the metal is there in the pin also, in the bridge also. Did you get that point?
No, madam.
Huh?
No, madam. You said, is there metal in the needle? Yes, there is. No.
The
No,
Parinamavadam and Vivartam.
I am just asking whether it is born or not.
No.
See, when it is born, whether the needle the metal has become the needle.
Parinamavadam, last time you told, no?
Yeah, that is where it is actually, we have to, okay, that part, a little confusion will come. Anyway, we will just wait that. And now we understand. See, what I'm just telling, there is no birth. So why we are telling there is no birth? Because if there is birth, then there will be a relationship with the objects and the cause and the effect. So here it is, and the cause and the effect, how do we, the material, there we can say that if the cause become the effect, the cause will vanish, effect will be there. But here the effect, the material, the world, the Jagat is there, but nothing happened to the cause. So that is possible. That is what it says. without the cause undergoing any change, when the effects are seen, that is what is called Vivartavadam. So how this creation is formed. Is it clear now, Aruna? Yeah.
Is that example, Chaya, with that example,
Yeah.
it's more clear?
Yeah, example will be better.
Otherwise, what happens? It will change. The milk will change to become the curd.
No more milk.
The cause and the curd is the effect. But that is called Parinamavadam. But that is not is happening here. Because this point is very important, because the Atma is just dying and then Prana is not coming out. It is, the Atma is there, the Prana is there. And what is their relationship? That is what we have to understand. So what is the relationship? The Jagat and its substratum, the Sat. So that relationship is called Ajadavadam. There is nothing is born. It is as though it is born. That is what it is called, as though. So here it is called this is what we have to understand by the Ajadavadam. That will come only, we want to establish the relationship between the objects of the universe or the universe and its substratum. That is called, that is where we have to say the subject is, that is the substratum is na jayade mriyade va kadachit. So there is nothing, and it is not nirvikaram, nirvishesham, everything, whatever, that is the substratum. So there is no other relationship. So the relationship is actually, it is not a real relationship. If the real relationship is there, we can never come out of the samsara. That is what we have to understand. Now, then another way what we have to take it, this metal. So when you see the needle, what do you see there actually? Needle or the bridge, whatever it is. What are you seeing there?
The form.
Pardon?
The form.
Name and the form.
Name and the form. But you are then name and the form of what?
Metal.
Of the
Metal.
object.
Yeah. So the metal, yeah, that is important.
Yeah.
The name and the form of the metal. But metal are you seeing there?
Yes.
Metal, see the thing, metal, what is metal? Nirmala.
It is the content.
Can you see the content? What is it? What is the nature?
No.
The
no.
chemical composition, no?
I
That's
can't
what she
see.
meant.
Huh?
No,
See,
I
what
want
you
Chemical
can go-
composition of the metal.
you can't see
You
it.
can see the composition. Okay, you do the analysis of that metal.
Yeah, you
Up
can't
to
see
the
it.
atom, up to the subatomic particle you can go. Afterwards, where will you go?
Yeah.
Not possible, correct? The same way, when we see the word, which is name and form, and we see the content, the Atma. But can we see the content?
No.
That is adrishyam. Just like that, in the needle and the bridge, the metal is adrishyam. Okay, don't take that and take your necklace. In the necklace, the gold. Can you see the gold? I am just asking. Can anybody see the gold?
I see the necklace, but I know it's made of gold.
Yeah, that is knowledge. That is
That is
different.
knowledge,
That is not
yes.
seeing. Yeah, but
It's not
yeah.
see- Yes.
No, that is why, because you have the knowledge. Yes, so everything exists in the knowledge.
Knowledge.
That knowledge is the Chit principle.
Mm.
See, that is how so beautiful it is. So the whole world is in our chit.
Chit principle.
It means that knowledge. In that knowledge, the whole world is there. Nama Rupa. So now, another very beautiful way we can say, so what is the absolute thing here? It is the substratum is the unseen Sat, Chit. Chit. Okay. Sat Chit is the unseen principle. And to know that, it has to have the Nama Rupa. So whether this Sat Chit, whether can we know it without Nama Rupam? No. So the Nama Rupam has to be there. But whether the Nama Rupam has an existence without the Chit and Sat Chit. Sat Chit, take it as the same principle. Yeah. No. So that what we have to understand, whatever we see, the whole universe, because we are going in a totally different angle, different dimension. That is why this explanation very, very important. Because we are seeing the whole world as Nama Rupatmakam Jagat. So when we say Nama Rupatmakam Jagat, and when we are only seeing the Nama Rupatmakam Jagat, that is where we are in the samsara. So what happens to a Tattva Jnani or a Tattvavit or a Jnani, whoever understands that the whole Nam, it is only the Nama Rupam, there is an unseen Sat Chit. And that also, how are we knowing? That is our knowledge. So that is also knowledge that is in the mind, everything in the mind. We are knowing this world also through our mind. Anybody has got a doubt? Because we are seeing all the objects only in the mind. All the Nama Rupam we are seeing in the mind. Same way, the unseen substratum, Chit also, Sat Chit also, we are seeing in the mind only. So the Jnani, if he can understand that the Nama Rupam is not the real thing is that knowledge, that Chit. And he abides in that. That is how he is not affected by the world. The world Nama Rupa is there. For the Jnani, it is not disappearing. For his all practical purpose, he is doing everything. That is what it is said in the Bhagavad Gita. Even when they walk, they smell, they do everything, the Jnani is thinking that he is not doing anything. So that is with the karma part. So the same way, Jnani, all this is karma. All this is name and form. All the gunas, everything is name and form. So Nama Rupa, the world is Nama Rupa, and which cannot exist without Sat. And Sat cannot be known without Nama Rupa. These 2 points make it very clear. Now, Nama Rupa also is in the mind. And if you can take the Nama Rupa as Sat, then you are a samsari. Then you will get involved in the ocean of samsara. But when the Jnani says, even when the object is there, it is only Nama Rupa, and he sees that unseen Sat, and he understands that Sat itself is myself. That is the ultimate jnanam. So for them, the mukti. So that is what it says here. So the prana is the only, actually prana also is the nama rupa. Even though it has come from Atma, the substratum of the prana also is nama rupa. So that is what it says. In the first it is the praja. Then the prana was put it in a very high. Then it is coming down when we explain this way. Correct? So this unseen principle, that is the chit, that is the knowledge, absolute knowledge, that should be in the, that is the vertical thing which is always there. And on that unseen thing, all these nama rupa plays vertically. Vertically means it can just go like anything. That is what it says. Even the Ashwatha or any tree, it says, you know, the root down. Root is not spreading all the way. Don't take the example when you take it only for that. Yeah. The root only straight go down, but the nama rupa will spread vertically. That is what we have to understand. Then only we will understand this prana level and all these things. Before going to it, we have to understand this prana like this. Another thing also, each Upanishad, there's a way of telling it. This is from the prana level, we are looking at it and giving the explanation. But if it is some other Ishavasya Upanishad, if we take it, this is not the way at all. It will be explained in totally different. Kenopanishad, if we take it, no. So each way, and the same thing, Taittiriya we take it, or Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter when we take it. So there also, another way how this principle is explained. So if we don't understand that way of looking into it, that which we need a guru's help, then we will, utter confusion will be there. Because everything will, all the Upanishad will say about the Atman, about the Jagat, about this. But what is it? How do we connect? How do we understand? We have to know. Now we have to come. So it is the Sat. So whenever we see any phenomena in the world, or even our mind, everything, anything in this object, even the mind, body, and the other objects in the world, we can divide it into two. One is Sat, the other is its Bhava, the Nama Rupa. Sat and Bhava. So all objects, there is Sat and Bhava. Okay. And this Sat and Bhava, this difference, where is it? That difference is in the mind only. Suppose, if you keep one needle, whether needle is different from the metal? No. But the difference is in our mind. So that is called the Bheda Bhava. So what we have to do? Abheda Bhava. That Abheda Bhavam also have to be in the mind only. That is what is actually said in the 8th shloka of Upadesha Saram. Bheda Bhavana Soha Mityasau. Yeah, that is very Bhavana Bhida Pavani Mata. So Bheda Bhavana, one has to remove the Bheda Bhavana. Then Soha Mityasau. He is that, I am that. That bhavana has to come. That is that oneness. So what is oneness? Oneness is understanding the nama rupa, a object which has got nama rupa and sat as not different. It is only understand only as sat. Why? Because only sat is one principle, but nama rupa will change. If you understand as nama rupa, gone. Only Bheda will be there. If you understand as the Atma or the Sat principle, then it is Ekam Eva Advitiyam. That is very, very important. At that time only we can see Sarva, we will have the Sarvatma Bhavam. That is, this Atma is there in everywhere. When we say that, how we have to understand this I principle, this Sat principle, Aham principle, that is there everywhere. That is, then only we can have that Sarvatma Bhava. A Jnani, a Jivan Mukta who has got this Sarvatma Bhava. But before that, we have to understand all these Nama, Jopam, and the Sat, and that differences, and that is in the mind. And in the mind, which doesn't have the Jnana, this Bheda Bhavam, that mind is called a Jnana. That is in the Atma Nishta or Jnana Nishta. That mind which is having the Jnana Nishta, or Nishta means which is fixed to that. Fixed to that jnanam, fixed to that knowledge. That is the knowledge which is to which we have to get fixed. What is that knowledge? There is no two things. There is no Vedam. There is only Bhava. There is only one. There is no Bhava. Bhava means name and form. Now, again, we will take it. See, when we take this Chaya, now the next question comes. How? It is like not the next question. Here itself it says Purusha and Chaya. Here also we have to understand Purusha and Chaya, or reflection also we can take it. So Atma is the, so Prana is the reflection of the Atma. So when we say that, here we have to take it as the mind also. Prana. Prana is actually Samashti, the Hiranya Garbha. Samashti mind is called actually Prana. So Prana has to be seen in which context it is. So how the Chaya is formed, or how the reflection is formed. Suppose if there is a sun there and there is a reflection in the water. So suppose somebody asks, how is the reflection formed? What will be the answer? How the reflection is formed?
Because it's a medium.
Because of the water.
The medium.
Medium.
The light.
Yeah, but the water also only if it is very still.
Yeah.
The same way, the Chaya also. So what is it important? Chaya also, when only there is, Chaya is formed when there is little, because of the the rays, when it is falling. Because everywhere light, then there will not be any Chaya. You got it? So Chaya is the darkness. That means it is Jadam. So here Chaya means the Jada Tattva. That is what is mentioning. So the prana is a Jada Tattva. But the prana, when the light comes, that Jada Tattvam disappears because it is pervaded by the light. So that also become another light. Because the shadow goes. Here we can say the shadow goes. So everything will be the Chit principle, that Chaitanya, light only. That is what is important. Then it says how it enters the body. That is where it says Mano, through the mind. Through the mind means as Sankalpa. The prana is reflected. So the mind has to be there. So that is what it says. So through the mind only, because why the mind is important? Because mind is the sattvic principle which have the reflecting surface. But if that is agitated mind, that reflecting surface will become like a stone, unpolished. So that will not reflect. So the mind here is that one which is taking the prana in. So like these three questions are answered here very, very clearly. Unless these three questions are how it is explained, if we don't understand, the rest of the things are very, very easy. We can just go through it. Yeah, so now the second, in this next question, it says this prana, okay, now the prana has come to the body also. So that way also happy, he got the answer. Now his answer is, how is it working? As 5 pranas getting divided. So that is what we are going to read today. A very beautiful another mantra. So whoever has not finished the 3rd time reading the last round, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we will start the new round. Because I don't want anybody to miss it. Reading. Everybody has read? Yeah, Anjali, read. The 4th mantra.
The 4th mantra, right?
Yeah.
Yatha
1 minute.
Samra.
I'll take the 4th mantra. Let me see. Okay, fine.
Yatha samrade vadhikritan viniyungte etan graman aditishthasva ityeva mevaisha prana itaran pranan prithak sannidhatte.
Once again, you read it.
Yatha
Samradevadhikritan etan graman adishtidasve evameva prana itaran pranan prithak
sannidhatte.
esha prana itaran pranan prithak eva sannidhatte. Yes.
Word meaning, Yatha.
Word meaning, yeah.
Yatha, just as, Samrat, king, Eva, alone, Adhikritan, officers, Viniyunte, appoints, Etan, these, Graman, villages, Etan Graman, these villages or departments, Adhitishthasva, reside here and govern, Iti, thus, Evam, In the same way, eva, only, eshaha, this, pranaha, prana, itran pranan, the other pranas, prithak, prithak eva, separate, separate only, sannidhatte, assign. Just as the king appoints his officers, saying to them, reside here and govern these and these villages, so does the prana assign to each of the other assistant pranas a separate department of activity. The nucleus of all activities and energy in the body is the prana, the ego center, ahankara, which gets its work done by the upapranas, just as the emperor or the chief minister gets his work done through the other ministers. And each one of the ministers in turn gets his work accomplished through the various departments of activity located at different provinces. The main activities of the body in toto constitute what is generally known as the activities of the living man, and they can all be classified under 5 different categories. It is to show these categories that we have started the discussion here. In this chapter, we will be getting a description of the various pranas and their respective allocation of duties. As the king appoints his governors and collectors in the various provinces of his dominion to administer the allotted subdivisions of districts, so also here the ego center is distributing its work to the various upapranas. Each department permanently functions from its headquarters fixed at a definite point in the body. From the analogy, we must also note the officers who are looking after their duties and administering the areas allocated to their jurisdiction do not act for their own sake, but for the glory of the king or the state. Similarly here, the upapranas are functioning in the various provinces of the body to contribute the maximum to the total exchequer of experiences gained by the ego center, the chief prana.
It's a very simple mantra, very easy to understand, but lot of underlying things what we have to understand also. As such, it says how the samrat, an emperor, so the prana is compared to a samrat. So that is the mukhya prana. So he divides his kingdom into various divisions and hand over to the grama neta and to carry out the functions. Very, very simple. That's all it says. That's what it said. So telling that what is to be understood, we will see. Now the question is how the prana got divided into many. So the answer is prana got divided by himself. That is what it says here. Actually, that is what we have to understand. Because the example, the prana, the samrat is different and the people are different superficially. But really meaning they are also same. The samrat and the grama neta, but that's why never extend an example. So just, but here the prana got divided by its own. He himself got divided into 5 according to the function. Because when he does that function, he gets a name. That is what we have to understand here. Even though the Atma is the ultimate substratum, what we say that we see Atma is not doing any action. It is the actionless base on which the actions are performed. So the base is, because if the base also started acting, then it will be a confusion. So, so the actionless base, Atma, the prana's actions are taking place. So the Atma is the substratum of the prana. So this prana, this creativity power, that is called Vishwaviryam. The Viryam, the power to create the Vishwa. That is the meaning of Vishwaviryam. So when we say Vishwaviryam, Virya means power. And Vishwa means the universe. So the power to create the universe is called Vishwaviryam. So the Atma's Vishwaviryam is expressed here as the Prana Tattvam. I hope you got the point.
Is it comparable to Maya?
No, we will not do any comparison now. Now this way, let it go. Because otherwise it will just get confused. Later we can take that and analyze it. Okay. Here we have to see that this is the, because that is what exactly said in this book about the prana, about the Atma, about the subpranas, about the activity. That is the way it is said here. So we go through that. Then we can connect it with the prana later, Maya later. Or it may, sometimes it will come here itself. I don't know that. Yeah. So here the Vishwaviryam has to be understood, the creativity power which is there in the Maya, Atma. In fact, that is exactly the Maya. There is no doubt about it. But let us not bring that Maya word here. The minute creative power. That is why it says the creation, when it starts, the first pulsation is the prana. The spandanam. In Sanskrit, it is said spandanam, the pulsation, the action. That is where the kriya, it is an kriya. See, that is what it says. The action from the, we cannot live without action. So there we can say the prakriti. Prakriti means with the kriti only. Prakarshana kriti. Means kriti means karma. That is how the word prakriti has come. Prakriti is a word for Maya. We can connect it. So the first pulsation is the prana. We take the word prana. Yeah. So this prana is not the original Atma. You are sure about it, correct? Yeah. Even though in the last mantra, that is last prasna, you have to understand very clearly the last prasna. What did they say? The prana is the Prajapati, prana is the Atma, prana is the Brahma, prana is everything. Now the prana's real form, it is bringing down. See, this is the way. Going up, bringing it down. Put the prana in a big high pedestal. Then pull him to his Vyavaharika level. Yeah, that is it. Yes. The prana is not the original. Then what is it? It is the reflection or chaya. That also we have seen. In short, all the actions, this is you have to understand, all the actions are at this prana talam. At this plane of prana, only the actions are there. Any action is taking place, it is at the prana level. If prana is not there, no action.
I didn't understand that.
Pardon?
I didn't get that.
Okay. See the thing, what is prana?
Okay.
Prana is the energy.
And yes,
Energy means action.
yes.
Correct? That much you know?
Yeah.
The energy is the one which
Action.
promotes the action,
Yes.
which makes it active.
Mm.
So that is why at the prana level means only when the prana, when we discuss about the prana, all the karmas comes there only.
Mm.
If the prana is not there, who will be able
No
to
action.
do the karma? The mind cannot think.
Yes.
The indriyas is weak without prana. See that
Yes.
what happens to a blind person because the prana is not supporting.
Mm.
So he is blind. He is not able to because his eyes. The eyes, the chakshus is not supported by the prana.
Mm.
So the same way with the ear, everything, all the five jnanendriyas, when it is not supported, even the karmendriyas, the subtle body has to be there, no?
Yes, I got it.
The subtle body, that is why the prana is the one which makes it.
Mm.
See, the hand will be there, the nervous system is there, everything in the dead body also.
Yes.
But it is not able to lift it. Why?
No prana.
No prana. So all the actions at the prana level. This is what we have to understand. Anything? Yeah. And Atma, all the time you take it is nirvishesham, nirupathikam, without any action. So in short, all the actions to be seen at the pranatala. So it says the first pulsation from the Brahman or Atma is the prana. So we have to see in prana all the activities. And here, this is possible only through the manana. That is what very important. So however much we explain with words, ultimately it has to come, that picture has to come in your mind. You should get a understanding about it. That is very, very important. That will get it many times. We hear, we explain, we try to understand, then it becomes. That's what it says. So now onwards, the whole thing is the activities, describing the activities of this prana. The whole of the rest of this mantra, it says the prana activities. Now, yeah, see, whenever we study, that is what I've written. Whenever or whatever we study, there is a way to do it. The one should know from which plane we are discussing. Here we are discussing from the plane of prana. And if that is not understood, there going to be a lot of confusion. So each Upanishad, when we read, from which angle we are seeing it, we have to understand. And this order or the way how we see or understand should be usually with the help of the Guru, along with the Manana. Guru also cannot just say and make it very clear to you. You have to go on thinking about it and connecting it. Then you will get stuck. Then again discuss. Again we get stuck. Some points. That is very important of the importance of question answer. Where we get stuck, we can't move forward until that path is clear. Yeah. So now the whole development in this book, I just made it in a very short, this thing. Started from I said, Sharira Utpatti. Then it goes to its greatness of the prana. giving it the status of Prajapati and the substratum for everything. And again in the third Prashnam, the birth of the prana and its different actions are mentioned. Then in the fourth Prashna, what happens in Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti? That is what it is. What are the actions of prana during Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti? Then in the fifth, it is the sadhanas about how to understand the reality and what are the sadhanas. At the level of prana, we have to do to understand the reality. Then the sixth Prashna, the Atma is seen finally as Purusha with the 16 kalas. That we will see what it is later. So the whole development of the Prashnopanishad is like this. So now we are in this Prashna where we are taking the prana and doing its understanding the activities. But before the third mantra, very, very important. So that we have seen very nicely. Last class also, same explanation we have given in this class also. Yeah. So that, yeah. In the last class, we had already seen, that is just now we explained, Sat and Bhavam, Sat plus Bhavam is the Nama Rupam Jagat. Just now we explained that, correct? Yes. That we have to understand, yes. Now, this mantra, the prana is given the status of Samrat. Samrat means the emperor, the king. And see, whatever action done by the Samrat is for what? For the praja's good, well-being of the prajas. So the same way, the prana Samrat, whatever he is doing for the praja. That means for the individual. That's a very beautiful connection. This is how we have to understand. So it is the individual, body is the kingdom. And there all the order is maintained. By whom? His ministers. Whose minister? Prana's minister. How many? Many are there. But for our understanding, we are taking it as 5. Just like the Samrat is maintaining the well-being of the whole kingdom. That is Kshetram. Ours also is a Kshetram. This Kshetram is maintained, giving whatever necessary energy to the necessary part and going through necessary, following necessary path. That is all. What is the all the path, everything is described here. So the same way the Samashti also. Samashti also, this is not only the Vyashti Prana, in the Samashti also. In the Samashti, what is that? It is that order which is maintained. That is the Samashti Prana. If the Prana, see, the order is just sometimes little bit problem, that is where he does something and make it equalized. If too much people doing too much this thing, something happens and everything will be, I don't want to repeat it anyway, that is not good. Yeah, take it. So the maintenance of the universe is the Prapancha Prana, by the Prapancha Prana. So now both the transactions, Samashti Prana and the Vyashti Prana are, yeah, it's all in the horizontal level going on. That is what it says. that is lot of nama and rupa, lot of cosmos are there. So it is a big horizontally spreading. That is how the tree also. So, but there is a relationship. There is connecting link between the Samrat and the Praja. What is that connecting link? There is a connecting link. I really like this explanation. It is the status. Samrat also is a status given. And for the Praja also, it is a status given. So that status, that status, that is unseen. That unseen status, that principle which prana its status, the samashti prana its status, and the veshti prana its status. That means everything in this world, that unseen principle is the Atma. This is actually the explanation by Nataraja Guru. And he has explained in a very, very little more complicated way. I'm just taking it very, very important points from there. Otherwise, it will be too complicated to, yeah. That is what it is said. So that is actually this status. That is stationary. In that stationary, that correct. The Samrat status is stationary. The Namarupa will come there. And the Praja status is stationary. But the Namarupa will come there and go. So that status, that is the vertical. Don't think that there is something vertical, but that is how all the explanation of Srinarayana Gurudevan's Darshanam is explained. Now, leave that. So now very, very important is the relationship between the Samrat and the Praja. The relationship I'm just telling, the prana and the upapranas. Upapranas means all the 5 pranas, sub-pranas. It is like the Anga-Angi relationship. Anga, because the prana is the Angi. And all other things are its Anga. Because this has to be understood, because now, depending on that, the different pranas are explained. So here we have to, yeah. The Anga and Angi. So knowing the Mukhya Prana is the Samrat, the 5 Angi pranas work according to the, see, when we order the hand work, the Anga, Angi work, Angi orders, the Anga works. So each living being has an order, correct? This order, and this is actually explained very beautifully by Swami Chidanandapuri also. He says in all these things. Now I could actually connect it to what he was telling. So many times he explained even in our class. See, there is a vyavastha, because especially when he explained the dharma. So it says that even if we take a cell, it has got its own vyavastha, and along with the other, it has got another order. That is permanent. I mean, that is not changeable. That vyavastha, that is the Sat principle. So each vyavastha, so each living being has an order, vyavastha. If you take each cell, we will see the order there. And when these join together, they all this vyavastha joined together. There we see the unseen order. Atma Tattva. So when we take the Atma as the order means that knowledge in which it is all established. So it is the absolute knowledge. So that we can derive from here to the absolute knowledge. So that absolute knowledge, in that absolute knowledge, the whole universe exists. That is its Chittamsha. So that is the knowledge only which everything happens. Now, how each prana is working in detail, the coming few shlokas explain, mantras. Now we can questions. So that is what we have to understand. Ishavasya Idagam Sarvam. Everything is in this knowledge. Everything is the whole phenomenal world itself is. What is the content? It is the knowledge. It is the Sat. It is the Chit. That is what is called Isha. Ishara. So each Upanishad has got. In Chandogya Upanishad says you take the Loham in everything. Very, very nice it is, like, let's say. Everything, it is that principle.
Because in whatever Upanishads we have done, this type of prana comparison has never come. Probably
Yeah,
that's
because
why.
actually among the Upanishad, this is the only Upanishad which is talking so much about the Jagat in detail. Not a single Upanishad, because they all highlight the Brahma, the conscious principle, and the Chaitanya Swarupa, Satchitananda, Atma. Most of them. But that is why the importance of the Prashnopanishad.
I think the beauty here is they are trying to take us to the subtlest form of our experience and then take us to the higher.
Yes, correct.
That Brahman we don't have an idea as of
yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
correct.
So
Yeah.
subtle experience and then taking
see,
us
it is from the external world
Jagat.
We are going to internal. That is it.
Outside in.
See, now this knowledge
And
principle.
actually, sorry, Mundaka also to a little bit, that is why these are the Upanishads. Yeah. Yes, Hema.
Nothing. This knowledge principle, the absolute knowledge. When we take that cell example, a cell is a matter. It doesn't have this Chaitanya. The knowledge principle is responsible for the cell to behave, organize itself. That knowledge principle has to be there for the cell to function.
Yeah.
In itself, within the corresponding its neighbor cells, how the two neighbor cells should behave, there is a little another knowledge principle, a next level of knowledge principle. This is all in inverted comma, next level and all that. There's no so levels and all that. So how one is that vyavastha inside one cell, the knowledge of the cell to behave and all that, because it's a matter. Now that knowledge principle has to be there. Now that cell to behave with another cell or a group of cell, there's another knowledge principle which is governing the whole thing, like our political thing also. One gram panchayat, and about that some higher level panchayat, which is looking into the orderliness of that. So this is the knowledge principle only, which is, highlighted sort of thing.
Maybe based on this only the
And
new,
actually knowledge principle only highlighted, because even Mundaka Upanishad, it starts, tell me the knowledge by which knowing which everything will be known. That was the question. Yeah.
the new ministry that has been inducted, the new
Huh?
one, the
Ah.
new ministry.
Ah.
So they have a new ministry now called the Ministry of Cooperation.
Ah.
So when she's telling me about this two, how are two going to be interlinked and interrelated?
Yeah.
So
And there is a very beautiful text by Narayana Gurudevan. It is called Arivu. But it is in pure Malayalam. But even if I read 100 times, I won't understand head or tail of it. That is the depth. With that depth it is written. And it's so beautiful it is. Yeah. Because he calls Gurudevan for the Brahman, for the Atma, everything he says Arivu. So with each word, see, any word we can use it.
Arivu means?
Arivu means jnanam, knowledge, absolute knowledge. There. See the thing, knowledge means two types of knowledge. One is the material knowledge, Paravidya and Aparavidya. Material knowledge and the Paravidya and Aparavidya. See what happens actually for the scientist. They are going on searching in the Aparavidya only. So they are not able to go beyond that. There they are stuck. That is why metaphysics. Beyond that. Beyond the physics. So one Swamiji's question, somebody asked Swami Chidananda Puri. And see, this is written so simple, this mantras. Then why are you explaining and making it so complicated? So I think many of you may be thinking that way. Why is doctor telling so many things from here and there and not able to? Why
Yeah.
is
At one level, you said this is not comprehensible, and we are trying to comprehend it. So,
because just we read that and finish, very simple. That also he has put it everything, but in a
The first reading will be just to understand the content. The second reading, you have to read in between the lines and understand.
Yes.
Third reading is in between lines, In between the lines, you divide
Not in between, above and down also. That is it.
And compared to what we could understand a few years ago, this is at least.
And I have not used any of the difficult word that, there is so many other words like, Nataraj Guru has said very beautiful words like Upaditalam, Anuprastham, dialect, that is the Bodha Yoga, Yoga Buddhi. And I don't want to make you confused, but just to tell you that is it.
I think first level, second level, you have to understand. Then you can go to the third level of understanding.
Yeah, correct. That is why actually Sat, Asat we have to understand when we say in many of them Sat, Asat. Sat and Asat is actually, Sat is with the Nama Rupa. Asat means, their bhavam. That is how they, Gurudevan has explained. I don't want to bring it up now. Better not to, because of utter confusion, I'm just telling. So, and this Atma is beyond Sat and Asat. That is how it is explained. Even the Darshana Mala is a text. There also, but once we have this basic understanding, then it is, anyway, we can connect it. That is the beauty of it. Yeah. Okay, we will end the session.
Who will chant? Me? I'll chant.
Yeah.
Okay. Brahma Satyam Jaganmithya Jivo Brahmaipana Paraha Anena Vedam Satchastram
Anena Vedyam. Anena Vedyam Satchastram. Divedandarimaha.
Om
Antarjyoti Bahirjyoti Pratyakjyoti Jataraha Jyotirjyotir Swayam Jyoti Atmajyoti Smyaham. Sarve
Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Akaschit Bhagave Om Shanti
Tamaso
Samaya Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti.
Hi, Shachi.
Hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm back.
Yeah. Where were you?
I was here only, but too much involved in too many things.
Hi, Sashi. Good to see you.
good to
Glad
see
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
bye. Next time.
Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Okay, good, good. Yeah.